If your watercolor pencil paintings sometimes look a little flat or too much like colored pencils, you might simply be using them the wrong way, and the fix is surprisingly basic. I'm going to show you with these chocolate bars, a pretty boring subject at first glance with just a few brown tones. So if we're able to make this look rich and realistic with just watercolor pencils, imagine what else is possible. Still, I'm not just going to grab a brown pencil and color. I'm also choosing an orange pencil, and this is one of those small but very smart choices that you can make before even starting. Brown by itself can easily become a little dull and boring. That's why adding a warmer color underneath will help us give the final brown much more life. Instead of a flat brown, we're going to create something closer to the warm tones you see in real milk chocolate, and then we'll use the black pencil for shadows. Something that has a huge impact on the way your coloring will look and that a lot of people don't know about has to do with the pencil's lead. Here, for example, we have 3 different levels of sharpness. This light brown pencil is quite blunt, the orange one is sharper with a slightly round tip, and the brown one is sharp. And we often think that sharp is better because it helps get more precise, but it makes everything harder, especially when the paper is bare, because a sharper point covers less paper with each stroke. So you have to make many more strokes to get the same coverage, and those narrow strokes are much more likely to leave visible lines too. That's why after lightly reinforcing the important sketch lines with my brown pencil, just enough so I don't lose my drawing while coloring, I start with my orange pencil. Its slightly rounded lead touches more of the paper at once, so it's faster to color, and it also spreads the pigment more evenly for a much smoother result. I'm coloring quite freely without worrying about creating harsh marks. Now the way we move the pencil is also important. You can see, for instance, that instead of making straight back and forth lines, I use large oval motions that overlap each other. The reason I like this movement is that every new oval softens the previous one. Little by little, the marks disappear into each other and the color becomes much more even. I also have another habit that helps me keep my coloring smooth. I rotate my pencil as I work. Because if you always use the same side of your pencil, you already know that that side will become completely flat while the other one turns sharper and sharper. And then you end up with a pencil that doesn't behave consistently anymore. So by rotating the tip regularly, you wear the lead evenly all around, and that will help you maintain the same smooth result throughout the coloring. And don't worry, because oval motions and rotating the tip becomes automatic very quick, and it's pretty easy to do. Now that I have this warm orange base, I want to create the actual chocolate color by layering my brown on top. And this is where watercolor pencils really become interesting. I'm not using brown to hide the orange. I'm using both colors together. Because with watercolor pencils, when you layer colors, you're not just adding one after another. You're creating a new color that comes from the interaction between them. That's exactly how the orange underneath warms up the brown, while the brown brings the chocolate feeling. And the result is already much richer than if I had simply used a brown pencil. And notice that at this stage, I'm still using the same technique. I'm not pressing hard with a pencil. Notice also that there are a bunch of tiny white areas showing through from the paper. And that graininess wouldn't look good in a colored pencil coloring, but with watercolor pencils, that's completely okay. And actually, this is one of the reasons I find watercolor pencils so enjoyable. Because you won't ever need to spend a huge amount of time trying to fill every single nook and cranny of the paper before activating. The water is going to do it for you by dissolving the pigment, and a paintbrush will let you move it wherever you choose. So just remember that our job at this stage is simply to create a smooth enough layer with good color. That's it. Now that the base is there, I like to finish the coloring part so the end result starts looking more like the reference. And the first layer gave the overall color, but it's still quite flat. So first I reinforced the separation between the different pieces with some early shadows. Again, because I don't want to lose the sketch in the specific painting. And then for the lighter chocolate bars, I'm adding more orange because I want that warm color to stay dominant compared to the darker bar beneath. For that one, I'm changing the balance and adding more brown instead. So I'm using the same few colors but in different proportions. And that's something that makes watercolor pencils much easier to use than many beginners think. You really don't need more colors. You just need to understand how much of each color you want to show through. You also want the chocolate to already look believable before activation. It will save you a lot of time while making the process easier. And that's also because the water is not going to magically create the painting. The information needs to already be there. The colors with lighter areas, darker areas, shadows, and the different shapes. How I know I'm finished with the coloring is if I can see the chocolate becoming three-dimensional before adding water. I add a little more pressure in the areas where I really want more depth, especially between the chocolate squares. I'm also making sure that the brown doesn't overpower the lighter pieces, so I bring some orange back on top where needed. And now, looking at the drawing, I feel it's ready for activation. Many people end up ruining the coloring there. That's why my technique is to use a clean brush that I have slightly blotted on a paper towel. This is important because we want control over the drawing, and if the brush is full of water, the pigment might move too much and all the careful work we just did can become difficult to manage. Notice I also work section by section with zero rush or stress, another thing to love with these pencils. Whenever I touch a darker area, I just clean my brush before moving back into lighter areas because otherwise I could accidentally transfer dark paint where I don't want it. Look at how with water everything suddenly changes. The graininess disappears, the colors become deeper, richer, and the orange and brown reveal a golden color. And what looked like a grainy colored pencil coloring starts looking much more like a painting. This is why layering works so well too with watercolor pencils. The first layer will always look great, but it doesn't have to look perfect. Its job is just to create the foundation. With the second layer, this artwork is about to look even better, but the approach changes slightly. Because the goal is not smooth coverage anymore. It's refinement, and congratulations because you've completed 70% of the work at that stage already. So now we can use a sharper pencil because 1, we're no longer trying to cover large areas, and 2, the paper isn't bare anymore, so streaks wouldn't show as easy. Here it's time to target specific places. For example, we can strengthen the shadows, the folds, and separation between the chocolate pieces, and all the little details that could help create the feeling of volume. This is also where we can adjust the color balance. The darker chocolate already has more depth, so now I compare it with the lighter one, which looks a little flat next to it. And to fix that, I don't just strengthen folds and shadows, I also add a little bit of my dark brown in places to create a variation in color that will look more realistic. You can probably already see how much better it's looking. I'm also paying attention to the smaller details because realism often comes from these little adjustments. It's not about adding more and more color everywhere. It's about refining little things in the places that might look off or a little boring. You can see that I'm also not using the same big oval motions anymore when I color. Those were perfect for the first layer because I wanted smooth coverage. Now I'm using smaller and more controlled movements because I'm working on specific areas. And you can also press more at this point. Once I'm happy with the adjustments of my own coloring, I activate the second layer just like before. Nothing changes there in the way that I do it. Just that logically, there's less to activate now, so it's going to be even quicker. We're only softening and blending the areas where more pigment was added. The chocolate is basically finished, but you're going to see that the final improvement I'm going to share make a world of a difference. For example, highlights. We could use some here, even if they're very discreet. I'm using a clean wet brush to reactivate pigment in places, and then I remove the color slightly with a paper towel. This is a simple technique called lifting, but it can really improve realism quickly and easily. Here, for instance, the shiny parts of the chocolate needed to make the surface look realistic, more 3D, and that's it. Start with just a few pencils, a simple, almost boring subject, and the first layer that won't look very impressive on its own, but with the second layer and some smart final touches, everything comes together. This is the reason I think watercolor pencils can be so beautiful when they're used this way. They're so much more than colored pencils you simply activate with water. They're a painting medium that can give you the beautiful results of colored pencils, but with far less time and effort. You also get a feel for watercolors with much less stress and way more predictability. So if you enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comments below. And if you'd like to learn how to paint all kinds of subjects and get the most out of your watercolor pencils with even more amazing techniques, I invite you to check out my watercolor pencil mastery course. I'll link it in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.